Hi, it's been a couple of days or maybe a little longer since I've been on. Um, Still trying to find a good rhythm and a good schedule that actually works that I can do consistently, but for now it's just kind of going to be hit and miss for a while. Tonight, I don't think I'm going to be on too long, but I decided to do something a little bit different tonight. I'm going to start by wrapping up a problem that I started on the last stream that I was doing. It's a out of focus. It's a binary tree view from the right side. I'll kind of go through the diagram and the explanation if anybody is trying to get caught up on that. Um, and then the other thing I'm going to try and do tonight, which is new, is play around with Rust. So I've got a couple of easy or LeetCode easies lined up that I think will be pretty straightforward, but in a language that I have never touched before or written a hello world, it might be a little bit interesting. So I don't know if it'll be fun or entertaining, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot and see if it's fun to do on stream. So without further ado, let's wrap this one up. So this is one that one of the viewers threw at me the last time I was on, and the concept is you've got a binary tree, and you're supposed to write a function that tells you the view from the right. So in this case, the nodes that I can see from the right are 1, 3, and 4. And you can understand that if we dropped 4, it would be 1, 3, 5, because that would be further down. So I got partway through this, and I think I'm actually going to wind up refactoring what I had a little bit. Um, the idea is to create a queue or an array list of some kind that's going to hold the current row of nodes. And then I think we'll need two, one for the current row and then one to populate the next row. So you put all the nodes in the current row in a queue, and then you just see which one is on the right or which one is first available. And then that's obviously going to be your visible node. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and just dive in. I think Java has just a handy queue method or queue implementation. Although this is one that I need to check every time because I want to say Java has something built for this, but this says linked list. Try tutorials point. Yeah, okay, so if I just create or instantiate it as a linked list, that should do the trick. So we're going to convert those, and then I think from there I can just use the standard queue peek poll, and I guess queue.add. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so this is going to be my current row. This is going to be my next row. And then this is going to be my, actually this one can just be an array list. There's no need for that to be a linked list. Okay, and then we're going to do current row dot add root. We're going to prime the pump. And then while current row dot size is greater than 0, I think I'm going to remove that print statement for now because I don't know if I need it. Okay, and then so while current row dot size is greater than 0, what's the way to pull something? Q.remove, I guess. Okay. So temp val is going to be cur_row.remove. That should put the rightmost node into temp val. So, or yeah, okay, and then result.add. Or actually, I think I'm going to change this to peek. Because right now I'm just trying to see if there is a value there. I don't think this could ever be null, but I'm going to leave that check in just because it kind of makes sense to me for now. And then result.add temp val. So now we've grabbed the rightmost value from the current row. If it exists, we've added it. And then from here, how do you check the size? Q.size. So then instead of doing this, I'm going to do, this should be while row size. Okay, yeah, so actually I do want this inside. So then while cur row dot size is greater than 0, next row dot add cur row. And here I do need to do, so tree node next val gets cur row dot remove, and then if next val dot right is not equal to null, we want to do next row dot add next val dot right, and then the same behavior if next val dot left is not equal to null, next row dot add next val dot left. Okay, so this should leave us where next row is the ordered elements of the next iteration down the tree. So then once we've done that, we're going to set cur row equal to next row, and actually I already had that in here. Perfect. And then we're going to reset next row to just be a new tree. And I believe that should do the trick. And at the very end, we're going to return results. Let's go ahead and see what that does. Compilation error. Tree node cannot be converted to integer. Result. Oh, dot value? Val. ArrayList tree node cannot be converted to Q tree node. Where is that at? Line 42. New linked list tree node. Had a leftover variable instantiation. Okay. So that looks good for the first one. Let's try the other test cases. Because it is null. Now that's interesting. So I didn't know currow.size, currow.remove. So I guess the easy thing to do here would be to do a check for next val being equal to null, and then just breaking out of the loop. Let me try that and see if that actually helps. Okay, and then that is a little bit puzzling. So if we can submit it and it works, I might just spend a couple minutes trying to understand why I got that behavior. Okay, so that works. So what happened here? And also, what what test case did I get that broke? Unless is it unless it's this. Okay, yeah. Null pointer on line 35. So how does that happen? Cur row. Oh, okay. So I added cur row here. I'm trying to think of how I want to handle that because technically I have a cur row that is greater than 0. and it just happens to be greater than 0 with a single value that's null. So I think I don't love this, but I'm protected from nulls here and here, so that can't happen below. So I think I'm just going to say if root is not equal to null, then we prime the pump. Otherwise, we don't. And I think that'll take care of it without the need for this kind of less than ideal break statement in the middle of the loop. There we go. Okay, we'll submit it one more time just to make sure we're still in a running functional state. 1 millisecond faster than 94%, which is terrific. Just out of curiosity, if I submit it again, where's it going to land me? 92. Okay, so taking that that null checkout actually did have some pretty significant improvements. Significant, like a couple milliseconds, but I'll take whatever I can get. Okay, so with that, I think LeetCode supports Rust. Does it? Yes. Okay. So this is going to be all kinds of exciting. So if you didn't catch the beginning of the stream or what I was saying up front, I have a couple easies lined up, and my idea is to do some Rust and see how hard that is. I have never written any Rust before, and I have no concept of how any of the structures work. So it's going to turn into a lot of Googling. We'll see if it's fun and entertaining to watch, or if the answer is not so much. But I figured I'd give it a shot at least once. So to me, this looks like pub_fn is palindrome, returns a Boolean, and this is pub_fn. Okay, so this to me looks like a function, and then it's going to return a Boolean. And the easy way to solve this is to have another function. So let me see if I can find, and that's the other easy that I might do depending on how this goes. So Rust create private function. Is it possible to make a variable private, public and private visibility, docs.rustlang? Pub module, pub. Maybe pub isn't what I thought it was. Oh, by default, everything in Rust is private, with 2 exceptions. Okay, so I don't need to. It sounds like I don't need to declare it private. So let's just try Rust define function. An fn function name, parameter, function body. And I needed to have a return type, I think. Yeah, to return type. So let's give that a shot. Okay, so we've got we'll fix our indentation here. So we've got fn. This is going to be is palindrome helper. Return type is also going to be a bool, and then s is also going to be a string. Personal preference, I like languages that default to underscores instead of camel case. I can't think of what that's called right now or the specific case, but I do prefer that. Okay, so now I need to Rust get string character at index. I'm just kind of throwing words into there. Parsing Rust strings into slices. Maybe that's what I want. Okay, the better way. I don't think that's quite what I want. So I'm looking for Rust get char at index. How to index a string in Rust. Okay, let numString equal num.toString. This might be... Okay, yeah, so this isn't... I don't need to like do any kind of encoding. How to index a string in Rust. Is that for real? Num.chars, numstring.chars.nth at I.unwrap? Goodness gracious, that seems excessive. Okay, let's, before we get too deep into trying to make another function, let's just make sure we have any clue what we're doing. So this is saying .chars, so this would be s.chars, and the other thing I need to know is Rust standard out. Standard out to IO, standard IO, write all. I just want to write a hello world. Access is also synchronized via a lock. I feel like I shouldn't need to like lock standard out here. Okay. Oh, print line. Does print line just work? Let's try it. Okay, so what I want to do is print first char, and then I'm going to do plus, imagining that it would just be a plus in Rust, but who knows? So let's give that a shot. Let's see what happens. Okay, compile error. Expected commas got a plus. So let's try that. Hoping that that does some kind of concatenation. Argument never used. What argument is never used? Solution.rs. Oh, so maybe I need to provide it. I'm just placing a guess that maybe it would be curly braces. I think it's trying to do some kind of string interpolation. Oh, cannot find I. That makes sense. Let's try this. Mismatched types. Expected bool found empty. So then we're going to try returning false. Let's see what that does. Okay, found keyword. Expected a semicolon. So I guess Rust is big on semicolons, kind of like Java, which makes sense. Okay. Your input first char. Okay. So it didn't do anything useful unless actually it's possible that it output a space. Let me change that to a 0. And because of the word that I was passed was a man. Okay, so that worked. Man, is it really s.chars? Rust get char at index string. trying to see if there's another way to do that. And like, this is fine. It's really not that bad, but s.chars.nth just feels like a lot to do to me. And I feel like there's got to be... Okay. So maybe you can just index into it. Let's try that. So I'm gonna save this because that was more work than I expected it to be. And then let's try just indexing into this because I wonder if that would be easier. So if I do s at 0, will that work? Cannot be indexed by integer. Is that if I do, I saw an ampersand, I think in this example, ampersand value. Okay, so string cannot be indexed by integer. So I don't know what this is, but apparently not. Rest string methods. You replace string push length trim slice or split. Is there a slice in here? Chars. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't look like there is an easier way. At least nothing that I'm finding. Let me look at this just to see. If there's like any kind of a from or a get or anything, but it doesn't look like there is. So let's go back to our first example and just call that good for now, because I think this actually gets us quite a ways down being able to do it. So now I know how to get the nth character. So then I need to know how to get, let me see if I can, maybe this will link me to the like whatever is returned by chars. Okay. Because then what I need is, I need to get like the length or the size returns. Oh, okay. So .chars isn't returning an array, it's returning an iterator. Nth back. Okay. So nth back returns the nth back item from the iterator. So I think I could do this nth back 1. Okay, so let me just try that once to see if it works, knowing that my test case ignores. Okay, so I also got to do lowercase. So I wonder what this returns. Okay, so what does nth back return? It's an option self. So function is some self. Oh, okay. Oh, dot unwrap. Okay, so that's why I need that unwrap returns. It contained some value consuming the self value. Call unwrap or else, unwrap or default. Okay, I think for our purposes, unwrap is fine. So then what I'm trying to understand is what gets returned here. So let me see if I can find Rust character type. And it makes sense that that could panic. But alrighty, so what I need is just getting some kind of a dinging. Okay, so what I need is a character, the character type, so char. So okay, we're making progress. So let first char equal s.chars.zeroth unwrap, and then let last char get s.chars dot, I think this was nth back, right? Nth back? Or did I think I went, yeah, okay. Nth back. Okay, and then convert character to lowercase. Let's see if there's an easy way to do that. Or is there... Okay, convert case, casing. Okay, so I think probably what's going to be easier is to convert this string right off the bat. So if I do s dot convert underscore, or no, s dot to underscore case to case, and then case lower, I would expect for this to now be an all lowercase string, and I think the easiest way to check it is just to change what I'm printing. So let's see what this gets us. Probably a compiler. Okay, filter resolve use of undeclared type case. So uppercase are delimited by, is this like an import that I'm missing, I wonder? Let me try use case. Okay, so now Rust import to case. So what I'm looking for right now is how to do some kind of an import. Okay, so it looks like I've got the right idea here. Case and casing. So what could it not find? Unresolved import convert case. So is this like... maybe this isn't like available to me? I don't know if this is a non-standard library or... maybe it is. So let me try just looking again. Maybe there's an easier way to do it that doesn't involve... okay. Okay, dot to uppercase. Let's try that. So I think this looks to me like some kind of a library you could use that might be quite a bit more involved, but really all I need is to uppercase. So let's see if that does it. And here I actually might need to let upper string equal that. And then instead of printing string or s, I'm going to print upper string. Okay, 2 uppercase. Did I mess that up? Oh, 2 uppercase, no second underscore. So let's try that again. Alrighty. And then the next thing I want to do is print line first char, and then I'm going to print line second char, and then I've got what I want to do is first char, second char, last char. This is really last, not second. Okay, so if that works, expected, okay, so I need semicolons just like in Java. You would think that my habit would be to do that, but for whatever reason, my right pinky isn't hitting the semicolon button tonight. First char, okay, but this is still pointing at the wrong string, so upper string, upper string, which actually this is lower string now, and just because this is all for fun, we're going to go ahead and fix that. Okay, just to run it one more time, make sure we didn't mess anything up too badly. Although that's not right, because this thinks the last letter is Panama, so I wonder if this should be nth back 0. I wonder if nth back 1. I wonder if nth back is 0 based indexing instead of off by 1. Okay, yeah, there we go. Am I supposed to ignore? And removing all non-alphanumeric characters. Okay. Well, I didn't make as much progress as I was hoping to, but I actually think I'm going to call it good there for tonight. Seeing that I need to figure out how to remove all non-alphanumeric characters makes me think that's where I'm going to stop learning Rust for the evening. But thank you to anybody who stopped by. If it's entertaining or interesting to watch this kind of thing, I can do more of it. If it's more fun to watch me write code in a language that I'm familiar with enough to actually write code, then that's fine too. Would love to hear that. So feel free to drop any feedback and have a great night. Thanks for stopping by.